I saw a show in 2010. I saw our next speaker perform in 2010, and that show stuck in my brain so much that when you and I went to Alaska in 6 years later, I may not have remembered his name or the name of his team, but I remembered that show, and it completely blew me away. It was amazing to watch. And anyway, so this our next speaker is co-owner of the Hideout Theater in Austin, Texas. Has taught and performed not only all over the United States but internationally as well. Please welcome Kareem Badr.
Woo!
Yeah, Kareem. Yeah.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Thank you to Roland and Rich for making this happen. I had no idea you saw us in 2010. We'll have to talk about that later. I love all of these talks that are happening, and I think they're all flowing into each other. And that last one, I think, flows into mine a little bit, even if mine is a little lighter. That's all right. So, as improvisers, we are performers, obviously, right? As performers, we are one of our goals, maybe not the primary goal, but one of our goals is to entertain the audience. In addition to doing it for ourselves, we clearly acknowledge, want, and need that audience interaction. And we have the desire to engage and entertain an audience. And what I've slowly realized over my years of being a performer, improviser, and scripted actor, what I've slowly realized is that I don't want to say best, I don't like words like best, but one of the better ways to engage other people is to first entertain and engage yourself. So you want to entertain and engage the audience that's in your head, the little voice that's in your head. That I think we've all had this. I hope if you haven't had this as an improviser, you will have it at some point. That moment where things are happening on stage that you're part of, and there's a little voice or a little like feeling that's just like giddy, and you feel like you're getting away with something, and you're just so excited, and you're like, it's just on the edge of breaking. You're not breaking because you're a professional and you're going to be committed, but there's that little bit that's just going like, oh my God, yes! That's the thing I think we need to lean into and engage. That whatever you're doing that lights you up, I think we need to take stock of that, identify it, and do it more, play it harder. That is your game. That's playing your game. And by doing that and entertaining yourself, or what seems like you're just entertaining yourself, it will translate and it'll go out to the audience. But they will see you having fun and being engaged, and they will be sucked in, even if they don't know why. So how the hell do we do that? Well, it involves knowing yourself a little bit. It involves after the fact, after a show, after a scene, hopefully after a show, when you're back in the green room or at the bar hanging out with your troop mates. You need to assess and look back and find those moments, if they happen in that show. Find the moments where you were just giddy. You were inwardly just lit the hell up. You need to figure out what you were doing at the time. Think about whether it was playing a certain type of character or connecting with your scene partner a certain way. Whatever it is, whatever it was that lit you up, that was just so much fun, where you feel like you're getting away with something, that's the thing. So you need to identify that so that you can do it more. The next time you're on stage, you get to, not that you want to cram it into a scene, whatever it is, at the expense of the scene that's happening, or at expense of the show that's happening. But if there's an opportunity to play your game, you play your game, because it'll make you have more fun, make your scene partners feel like you're more engaged, because you are, and you're going to be doing it more effortlessly. It will hopefully get you connected to yourself and connected to your scene partners in a way that doesn't always happen. And I think this is what we aspire to do. You just need to let yourself indulge in playing your own game. Now, what am I talking about? This is a little lofty and amorphous and a little ambiguous. As I was thinking about this, I realized that I personally, I have a game I like to play. I've often said it's the game I play for myself. Maybe 3 audience members will notice it explicitly. They probably won't. And that for me is space work. Space work, or you could call it object work, or you could call it mime, or as I like to call it, being an idiot. It's for me. I think I call it being an idiot because it lights me up and lights up that part of my brain that I feel like I'm getting away with something when I do it. I love it because it's inherently a little silly. Even like the best mime artists who have studied mime, and I have not. I am a hack. I am a fucking hack, and I love it. But even the greatest mime artists who have really studied it, gone to clowning school, learned mime, it's still on some level. There's a certain silliness to it. The audience, the audience has to have a certain amount of suspension of disbelief and buy-in to this thing you're doing that is fundamentally ridiculous. You're showing space, or you're showing shapes and environments just using your hands and your body. Like, it's on its face a very silly but delightful thing. And I think just doing that alone, knowing that, engaging myself and engaging the audience, there's this kind of like not secret, but it feels like we're sharing something. Like, hey, look how dumb this is. Anyone outside looking in would think we're all idiots, but we're enjoying it and loving it. To me, I get lit up doing it. Now, one of the things I love about it is that done quickly, it's garbage and it's useless and adds nothing to your improv, doesn't light you up. I'm gonna show an example. I'm not gonna go into too much detail about how to do space work because it doesn't translate very well on screen anyway. But I'm gonna walk you through some of my thinking. So an example is lighting a cigarette, and I'll talk about why that's a good one in a moment. But lighting a cigarette, I think very often an improviser could think like, oh, I'm gonna be a character smoking, and they just go. They do it quick. They don't put any time to do it. It's another thing that's just filling time. It's just filling space on stage. If you give it time and space and patience, it becomes another thing that slows you down and starts to make room for your subconscious to hand you more details. Because to do space work well, and that doesn't mean that you're brilliant at it, but it just means that to give it the time and patience it deserves, doing it well, you need to slow down. You need to slow down because before you interact with something, you have to see it in your brain. And before you feel it in your fingers, you need to know how big the thing is, right? So why do I pick a cigarette? Now, smoking, I don't smoke. And once in a while, I'll have a cigar. It's not a thing that I do. However, I got this from a writer friend of mine. A friend is a very good novelist named Craig Clevenger, a very good teacher as well. He wrote that he loves having characters who smoke because smoking is a ritual. It's a personal ritual. It's a personal ritual that reveals character. And I think doing this on stage does the same thing. And here's why. In order to smoke, or in order to mime smoking, if you're going to do it properly and do it well, you slow down. You have to envision all the things that go into smoking. Now, this seems like a very strange thing to hyper-focus on, but go with me. First, you need to know what you're smoking. Is it a cigarette? Is it a cigar? Is it a pipe? Is it a water pipe? Is it a bong? Is it a joint? You need to know what you're smoking. Let's say it's a cigarette. Great. Oh, that's easy. Done. It's a cigarette. Okay. Is a cigarette in a hard pack? Is it in a soft pack? Is it in a silver cigarette case that you keep in your inside pocket? Is it tucked behind your ear? If it's in a hard pack, is it rolled in your sleeve or is it crammed into your pocket? Do you have a Lucky cigarette in your hard pack of cigarettes, or do you roll the cigarette yourself? If you roll the cigarette yourself, do you have a pouch of tobacco that is just the bag you bought it in, or is it in a leather pouch because you do this all the time, so you have it with you? Do you have the papers in your back pocket, in your front pocket? Do you just have one paper that you just have, in your jeans side pocket? Whatever. That's just the cigarette. Okay, now you have to light it. You've put the cigarette in your mouth. you figure that out. Now you have to light it. Do you have a match? If you have a match, are you going to strike it on your face? Because, ooh, I struck it on my face. Now I'm in an old Western movie. No, or am I going to strike the match on the side of the box, or do I have a lighter? Is the lighter a Bic lighter that's disposable, or is it a Zippo that is fancy and engraved, or is it a Zippo that is rusted because it has been passed down for 2 generations? Every detail reveals more details. By slowing down, you can reveal those details. So this is my game. This is what I like to do. And this is just one example of space work that will reveal more details that activate my subconscious, because activating my subconscious is the best way for me to improvise. I think it's true for everyone as well. We don't want to be consciously improvising. We want our subconscious to just be handing us things. So let me give you the example, or go back to the example again of smoking. Let's say I've got the cigarette in my mouth, pull out the Zippo, I give myself the moment to look at it, and I see letters engraved on it. BH, my character's name doesn't start with BH. This is a gold lighter with BH. That must be my father. I got this from my father. It's gold. Therefore, he was a man of means. The man of means treated me a certain way because he was rich and didn't like my life choices, to use some of the motifs from previous talks. And now suddenly this starts to inform my character. All this from slowing down and playing the game of figuring out how to light a cigarette. The more you do this, the faster your brain will be at your subconscious will be at handing you these details that you may or may not use in the scene work that unfolds. But it starts to add to your character. It starts to add to how you're acting and performing on stage. Yeah, so that's my game. I don't know what your game is, but you should find it. I don't know if it's playing high status characters or playing characters with a certain accent, or playing cartoon-like characters, or talking really quickly, or engaging in banter like you're in vaudeville. Whatever it is, you need to find your game to delight and engage your subconscious, so that your subconscious is the loudest voice presenting you ideas in your head to drown out all the other bullshit that gets in the way of us improvising. And the last thing I'll say about this is, I think by doing what I said before and taking stock of the game you like to play and the thing that lit you up and made you giddy, if you put time and effort and focus into playing that game, you'll naturally start to find the individual parts of the game that you want to improve and get better. And I think by identifying the things about the game that light you up, you're going to learn about what lights you up in general about performance and improv, and then improving those parts of the game will start to bleed into everything you do in improv, and then you'll become your version of the best improviser you can possibly be, which is all we want as artists, is to just be individual and have our own voice and have fun doing it so the audience enjoys it as well. So find your game. That's me.
Woo! Kareem! Yes!
Badr, oh my god.
Oh, I like
Yes, I like that.
That was nice. That was very nice.
Rich, the entire time I was like this, and I kept thinking, I'm a total novice at this stuff.
Yeah, right? It's like,
Oh my god, I know nothing about improv.
21 years, like I gotta learn more.
This has been amazing.
Every detail reveals new details. So much good stuff.